Hi, welcome to hydrangeas. So I noticed that a lot of people make their hydrangeas with doublet, and I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. I'm going to make mine with 180 gram, and I'm using some Carte fini. I think the number is the number is 17E3, and I basically took small pieces of 26 gauge paper covered wire, and I wrapped them and made these little Q-tips, and I did 50 of those. And I'm going to take pieces of the crepe, and I cut them 6 inches wide and 1.5 inches tall. I'm going to just give it a quick stretch to about 10 inches, and just take those, and since there's 4 on a bloom, I'm going to take it and just cut 4 of these little petals at a time. I think technically these are stamen. I think that the actual bloom of the hydrangea is the little centerpiece, and I think these are technically stamen. I could be wrong, but I think that's the way they go. And so I'm cutting these little... So I cut these little bitty blossoms or petals, and I'm just going to give them all a stretch all at once. And we're going to save a lot of time doing this. Give them a stretch all at once. Let me get my scraps out of the way. Stretch all at once, and then just drop them and let them fall apart. So I'm going to take my glue, put a little dab of glue on each one. And I'm going to wrap them around my Q-tip, if you will. So I'll just take it and place it right in the middle of that Q-tip. Take the next one, and I want to get all the way around by the time I get to petal number 4. I guess we're going to call these petals. I'm not sure. I think they're sepals, but we're going to call them petals for lack of a better name. And then number 4, wrap those around tight. Create a nice little tight... and then open it up. And I've done a few of them. We'll do one more. 2, that makes 2 petals. 3, 4. Got them. Get rid of my scraps. Nope, missed a spot. There we go. And do the other side. Turn it over, create a small little symmetrical petal. Stretch them all out at once. This one's going to be a wide one. I just drop them because it helps them separate sometimes. There we go. I just do not want to come apart. What's going on here? There we go. Okay. Because they're still connected. So let's just give those a little trim. There we go. That should do it. Okay. Let's clean this one up a little. It's got a little bit of a rough edge. Don't we all? We have a little rough edges. Okay, so we've got these nice little petals, sepals, whatever you want to call them today. Give them a little bit of glue. Like the poinsettia, which those bracts in the center are technically the petal, and the colors of them are the leaves. I think hydrangeas are kind of like that, that what we think we're seeing isn't really what we are seeing. So we're going to take those and wrap them around. So we have 4 of the, let's call them petals. Give them a good pinch and a roll. Nice and tight. So they're on there nicely. And then we'll just spread them out. Create that little floret. And once you have 5 of these, I take a little piece of, this is is this? This is extra fine green crepe. I'm going to take a piece 3-4 inches long. Give it a little dab of glue. Take these 5 florets. Hold 1. So I have 5 of them here. Take my, I've got them all coming together right down here. Take my, I'm going to use this as floral tape and wrap it around. Okay. Once I've got those florets made, I'm going to take them outside and I'm going to use a little bit of this Design Master Tinted. When you use this, make sure you use it outside, and I would suggest using a mask when you do. And one of the real secrets to this is make sure you shake it super well, like at least for a minute. And I'm just going to take them out, and you can see how bright this blue is. Take them outside and give them a little bit of that plum tint. And look, there it's actually a hydrangea blue. So that once we start putting these together, we're going to have a really pretty bloom. Okay, I just came in from outside and I sprayed these, and this is just my first cursory spray, and I'll start putting the flower head together. But before I do that, I've gone through all of these florets, and I'm just separating the flowers a little bit and opening them up. And I think, oops, that one is not staying together. Gotta get let the glue dry on that one. So this is the last one I did, so the glue is not dry, so I need to not yank on that one quite so much. And you can see, look how pretty that is. So I'm going to start building this stem. And to do that, I'm going to take a piece of doublet. Let's see what I got here. And I'm going to cut a strip about 1/2 inch wide. Stretch it out, and the color you want to be on the outside, you want away from you, or the color you want to show, you want away from you, show away from you. And you can use floral tape for this. I prefer to use doublet. And I'm just going to put little dots of glue all the way down. And because this is going to hold the bloom together, I want these pretty close together. Okay. That's sticking to my finger. There we go. The other thing to remember with this spray is make sure you wear rubber gloves. That is a must. So here's my first one. We want to kind of create a dome, not a cone, but a dome. And so I'm going to like tilt these out a little and start by wrapping this. I want it to be a little higher in the center than the rest of it. Let's start to wrap. Okay, and I'm going to go around that. And I want this to spread out a little bit. And the next one. And like I said, this is just the first spray. I'll come and spray it again. And now I'm just going to kind of fill in the gaps on this. May not be keeping this in camera, I apologize. And I think the last one's going to go like right there. And get that wrapped in there really well. Then I'm going to continue to wrap this down, and we're going to move this around just a little as we can adjust it. I want to fill all this in. And we're going to, this is just my first wrapping. We're going to wrap again when we add the leaves. We're just getting the blossoms on here. So, spread it out just a little more. A little bit bigger. Just continue to work it a little bit. Remember, nothing in nature is perfect. So there we have it. We have a beautiful hydrangea head, and we're going to come back in and give it another little spray when after we let this set up a little bit. And then we'll give it one more quick spray, and then we'll add some leaves to it. You can see here I didn't hit any spray at all. But so far so good. Don't you think it looks really pretty? And this is different. I've seen an awful lot of them in doublet, and I thought I would show you one that was done with 180. There you have it. We'll add some leaves and we'll finish it off. Okay, so we're going to make some leaves for our hydrangea. So I took some doublet that I had Mod Podged, and I have 2 squares here, and they're about 3.5 inches, 3 to 3.5 inches square. And I just put them together with the Mod Podge side facing each other, and I'm going to create the chevron technique with this. Open this up, and you can see the grain runs outward. I'm going to add some glue. Let's clean that off. I'm going to add some glue. Come on. There we go. A nice strip of glue right along the edge. It's not going on really well. There we go. And I'm going to match these up and set it aside to dry for a minute. Take the next one, do the same thing. And I'm going to put probably 2 or 3 leaves on this hydrangea stem. take it. I have 2 of them here, so we'll do another one. There we go. Same thing. Match it up. Might as well do a few more. I find that moving the paper instead of the glue for me works better. May or may not work for you. Okay, take that. Since I have one more piece, we'll go ahead and do that one too. Might as well, if you're doing leaves, do a bunch of them at a time. Do as many as you can, because you always need more leaves than you think you do. It's just a law of nature, I think. There we go. Oops. Fill those little gaps. Make sure they're sealed up well. Last one. Just a couple spots. Hate having globs on here. Okay. So we'll take this first one we did, and I like to cut it before I open it up. So these are big leaves, and the thing with hydrangea leaves is they're kind of bulbous on the end. So I'm going to make this as bulbous as I can. Cut them all while they're drying. Another thing about hydrangea leaves is they are somewhat serrated. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to create little hatches in there, if you will. I learned this technique from my friend and amazing artist, Lynn Dolan. And you just want a little notch, not much. Probably use my fine detail scissors for this. I think it might work a little bit better. These are amazing little scissors. These, I swear by Kai scissors, these are the best scissors. This pair that I'm using, I believe, are embroidery scissors. Last one. Okay, so now we're going to open these babies up. Are they pretty? Oh, this one's not quite dry. Let's see if I can, there we go. Okay, so we're going to cut out, we're going to cut that up there, cut out the excess down here. Same thing here, here. So we have a nice point on it. Do them all. Whether we use them all or not is another issue. Okay, so I've got those. I'm going to take a fine gauge wire. Actually, this might be a little too fine. Let's grab this one. And I'll cut this like in half, I think. And this was that one that I used that. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put a little bit of glue in here. Right in there. And I'm going to sandwich this wire in there. I'm going to come down about 1 inch from the top and just sandwich it in there and press, 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 press. Turn over, press, press, press. do more. This has got a really small margin on it. There we go. Get that sandwiched in there. There. Okay, then I'm going to grab a little bit of that this is that fine crepe that I had earlier. Piece of that. Get rid of my scraps here. Dot some glue on it. And I'm going to wrap this stem. I know that this is already covered, but I just really like the look of having it covered a little more. Just looks nicer. So I did that twice because this is pretty fine crepe paper. Okay, there's one. Let's take this other piece. Won't be able to do that twice. Okay, we'll get it done once anyway. So we're going to take our two leaves that we have. First, I need something to wrap it with. So I'm going to take a little more of that doublet that I had. Cut about a 1/2 inch piece of that. Again, the color you want to show goes away from you. Give this a good start. Remember, this is going to hold your leaves in place. So you want a fair amount of glue on there. I'm going to take this first one. Wrap that one on. So we're really trying to thicken up our stem here as we go. So I'll take the second one. Gosh, I keep breaking that. I'm just too strong. So it's just going to be to hold these leaves on, and they go kind of almost opposite each other because we're going to come in and wrap the stem again. Another piece. If you're going to put this flower in a bouquet, you probably don't want any more leaves on it than that, but I'm going to add one more. Take this little piece of wire I've got here. Get that sandwiched in there. Feel it wasn't going in there right. There you go. Nice. Take this little bit of fine crepe just to wrap that stem a little. Didn't really go all the way up the top. There we go. Now we'll come back down. And I'm going to need to add a teensy tiny bit more. This is more than I'm going to need. Wrap it once more. Just gives it a little more substance, I think, if you wrap it. We'll take this one. Oops. Let's take our doublet and dot it. Add this leaf. It really finishes it off really nicely. And then we'll take this all the way down the stem. And there you have it. You have a beautiful hydrangea made with 180 gram crepe paper. And I don't know. I might hit this one more time with a little more purple. I'm gonna sleep on it overnight. It's dark here, so I just might wait until morning and do it in the daylight to see how it looks. But I think we got it. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoy making your hydrangea.